to Glendale High School and to the 3A Ladies State Soccer Championships. We welcome you to today's contest between the visiting team, Sabino High School Sabercats, and the home team, Northwest Christian Crusaders. We have a couple announcements, and then we'll do starting lineups, followed by the national anthem. As member schools of the Arizona Interscholastic Association, we would like to remind you the objectives of educational-based athletics are what set this event apart from all other levels of competition. We have a strong commitment to excellence, fair play, and above all, good sportsmanship. We appreciate your recognition of the values being taught at this educational event. A Max Preps photographer is taking pictures of today's game. To view high-quality action photos, go to www.maxpreps.com, America's source for high school sports. We do have a snack bar located just east of the main stands, sponsored by the Glendale High School junior class. They've got hot food, including hot dogs, nachos, ramen, as well as some cold drinks, soda, Gatorade water, and an assortment of chips and candy. Restrooms are also located next to the snack bar. Soccer fans, make some noise for your team. Let's meet the starting lineups. From the visiting Sabino High School Sabercats, wearing jersey number 0, Angelina Morata. Number 2, Allie Weibly. Number 3, Caroline Rustend. Number 4, Karina Tapia. Number 7, Yatsidi Salazar. Number 8, Athena Huggins. Number 9, Alicia Skog. Number 11, Avery Weibly. Number 13, Ella Sable. Number 19, Kylie Brotherton. And number 21, Rhiannon Hernandez. The Sabercats are coached by head coach Mackenzie Samuelson. And now the starting lineup for the home team, Northwest Christian Crusaders. Wearing number 99, Taylor Paulus. Number 2, Tatum Berkwitt. Number 4, Cassidy Garderbirding. Number 5, Gracie Medea. Number 7, Ellie Johannes. Number 9, Belle Floyd. Number 12, Lauren Mazzeton. Number 13, Ava Campbell. Number 19, Beasley Floyd. Number 20, Mackenzie Wisely. And number 24, Olivia Winetta. The Crusaders are head coached by varsity head coach Jeff Penzone. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Glendale High School here in Glendale, Arizona, where this is the first of a twin bill, as here at the NFHS Network, we are proud to deliver you the 3A Soccer Championship between the Sabino Sabercats and the Northwest Christian Crusaders. My name is Brett Quintine, and for Sabino, what a year they've been having. Unbeaten in 15 games so far this year, 14 wins and 1 tie. They have rolled getting here to the postseason. Wins over Valley Christian and shutout victories over Scottsdale Christian and Ben Franklin. Actually, that occurred just 2 days ago to get the berth here in this championship game. And they will be taking on the number 2 ranked Northwest Christian Trojans. And the Trojans, they too have dominated in the postseason. Wins over Chandler Prep, Arizona College Prep, and ALA Gilbert North has propelled them into the championship. Well, as we get a look at the 2 teams on the field, and we are indeed underway. Northwest Christian, the Crusaders, are in the dark uniforms, and Sabino in the white. And as we always allow the broadcast just to flow for a little bit, and then we'll get into the star players, and there are many star players to talk about. As Sabino has the ball in their own end, Angelina Moraga, she is the goaltender. Sabino shut out Ben Franklin 5-0 on Wednesday. And she'll tip it away. And Northwest Christian trying to get something started at the very beginning before the SaberCats kick it away. Athena Huggins, big player for this Sabino team. But now Northwest Christian has the advantage, and they will kick it, and that is blocked. Ellie Johannes in there, and what a star she is. But now the Crusaders will try to reset. But as we saw on Wednesday, Sabino is very, very quick, especially on defense. Beasley Floyd with it. And we'll get the reset. Beautiful turf field, as you can see here at Glendale High School, home of the Glendale Cardinals. Spacious facilities, as we have mentioned all week long. Aliva Winetta tossed it in. She'll kick it away, and that's out of bounds, and Sabino will get things started. SaberCats are coached by Mackenzie Samuelson. What a year they've had so far. 94 goals scored, and they've allowed just 4 all year long. They've tossed 12 shutouts. A lot of that with the help of Angelina Moraga, outstanding goaltender. Northwest Christian in the dark. They are the defending champions. We'll get the whistle. Last year, they blanked Scottsdale Christian in the finale by a score of 3-0. SaberCats, the Crusaders with the long kick, and Moraga had it, and it's always a tough scenario when that goaltender is out of position. Ball taking that bounce, and now it is the SaberCats coming up with it. Battle at midfield. Winetta of Northwest Christian, she's always in there. And this is sent down, and it will be fielded by Moraga. Ellie Johannes, she's always on the attack. She had the trifecta the other night, dribbling, and that is going to be saved by Moraga. Northwest Christian making Sabino work so far. And that will end up in the corner. And we get the next whistle. And again, gorgeous day, great facilities here at Glendale High School. This is the 3A state championship game for girls soccer. Mackenzie Wisely, senior, she's playing her last game. She wants to go out a winner. And if Northwest Christian does win the game, she'd go out back-to-back champions, as again, they did win it all last year. But Sabino has a lot to say about it. As we are seeing two extremely talented teams. Sabercats on the move. Sabercats and Sabino High School from Tucson. And that's kicked away by Wisely. The toss is in. And let's see who'll end up with it. And it looks like we will head the other way. But Sabino is always tough. And there we see Taylor Powis. And she'll kick it away. Very short kick, however. Sabino with a great chance to control it. But it's the Crusaders who break it up. Again, both teams just kind of getting a feel for one another. Caroline Rustand, she's an important part of this Sabercat offense, and there we see the big kick by Wisely. Sent down to Johannes. But it will be Sabino who will try to set everything up once again. Lauren Maston, we called her name quite a bit on Wednesday. Just past Johannes. And we'll get the reset. Glad you could join us on the NFHS network. Today's event is also available for all subscribers via our mobile site. Log on to nfhsnetwork.com from your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere. And that will go awry, and we'll get the reset. So Sabino will try to take advantage of this particular situation, and they're very good at what they do. Rustand pushing, but ultimately taken away by Wisely, but Rustand will throw it right back in. But a little bit too quick for the referee. They'll huddle up, try to figure everything out. And once again, that will roll away. We'll head back the other way. And it looks like Wisely will do the kicking from her own end zone. We haven't seen any real serious scoring threats as of yet. Trust me, both goaltenders are phenomenal. Both of them threw shutouts in the semifinals on Wednesday night. Wisely back there, she is a terrific defenseman. And she'll kick it away. And sometimes that's what you need to do, just to make sure that your teammates are set to play the proper defense. Wisely, as we said. Now, I'll say this, if you're Northwest Christian, you don't want her kicking the ball too much because that means Sabino and Carolyn Rustand are on offense quite a bit. There's Belle Floyd, midfielder, senior. This will be her last high school game as well. Sabino giving chase, and the goalie, Paulus, will collect it. And this is another little pop that will stay inbounds. Sabino on the attack once again. Battle at midfield. Avery Weibel. She's in on the attack. And as we said, this is a contact sport. Soccer, you're going to see bodies collide. You don't want to see violent collisions, but this is a sport where you are going to end up bumping into someone at the very least, as we just saw right there. As that was Beasley Floyd who ends up getting up. She and Kylie Brotherton collided. It's probably the best way to put it. Definitely more of a crowd in the finals than the semifinals, also because it's a Friday as well. As they always say, wisely send it down. Always great to see the crowd supporting their athletes from their towns. As we said, Sabino High School is in Tucson. Northwest Christian, they are in Phoenix, probably about 20 minutes from this location, so they had a relatively short drive over. Ava Campbell in the corner. Campbell lines it, and it's headed off of the goalpost. Streaking down the field for the SaberCats, looking to have that scoring opportunity, but that will be thwarted. Paulus with the kick. Soft liner. And we'll head off from our left to our right. This is the title game. And while both teams seemingly had their way with their semifinal opponents, combined score of 9-0, you gotta think that while there may be a shutout perhaps in this one, you may not see more than 2 goals scored total. But then again, who knows? This is why they play the games on the field. But it's fair to say you do have the 2 best teams playing in this championship game. Quick exchange for Northwest Christian. Grace Swire coming in for Gracie Medea. Moraga, the lefty. Her kick will sail away. Sabino tosses in. And streaking down there is Athena Huggins, but it's grabbed by Paulus. And that's the one thing you always like to see, teams from all over the state being able to participate in the tournament. Clearly, the Phoenix area is the biggest city in the state, but at the same time, when you see teams from southern Arizona and also, of course, northern Arizona competing at these very high levels, that just says so much about high school athletics in this state. Ellie Johannes fighting down there. Johannes had 3 goals in the semifinal on Wednesday. Here's it's Tucson, yes. Sabino Tucson on the move. Rustand drops it back. That's broken up by the Crusaders. Good move, terrific move by Sabino. A little give and go there. Will they be able to keep it in and have a play? It's kicked away. Both teams have played well. I wouldn't give any squad an edge right now. We haven't really seen a lot of tough shots necessarily, but we have seen both teams' defense have to make some moves to help preserve their goalie skills, that's for sure. Sabino with the free kick. And that is angled towards the goal mouth, and that's going to be in. Wow, fantastic shot by the SaberCats. Terrific goal, and Sabino is on top by a score of 1-0. Ellis Sable on the score.
Goal. Ella Sable, Sabino SaberCats.
And again, you just never know when one goal may be enough. We said she angled it perfectly, and she indeed did just that. Big part of why this team is in the championship game, because of skills like that. So now the Crusaders, they've got their work cut out for them. And as we've said all week long, plenty of time on the clock. Whole nother half, and obviously 21 more minutes left in this particular half. But in a game in which there are not a lot of goals scored traditionally, you always have to think. And thinking is what the SaberCats are doing once again. And that was Huggins, but it gets away from her. But Sabino is strong. The SaberCats are on a solid winning streak. Matter of fact, they have won all of their games this year except for the 1-1 tie against the Tucson Badgers on the last day of January. Crusaders trying to cross midfield, and we'll get that whistle. Tatum Berkwitt was tied up a bit. Looks like Emma Busby was going to kick it in, but now we're going to get Wisely. Busby, a senior as well. Wisely with a solid kick, center of the field. It's booted away by Sabino. But the Crusaders will control it once again. Gracie Medea rather. Johannes down there. And Johannes will toss it in briefly. And that will roll away. Moraga with the kick. Headed by Northwest Christian. So Sabino will get to toss it in. And now it will be in possession of the Crusaders. Ava Campbell comes in, Beasley Floyd goes out. Senior for senior. And there is the kick, and that is punched in. Punched in by Cassidy Garberding. Wow, the Northwest Christian Crusaders bounce right back. And as we said, two talented teams. A lot of time remaining on this clock. It's a 1-1 game. Folks, this is going to be a good one. This is a real good one. Crusaders coming right back after they've scored the goal. Sending it downfield. Well, we've seen both teams score. We've seen both goalies come up with the quote-unquote marginal saves. And they are able to save it. Emma Busby, she didn't play a whole lot in the semifinal game. This is tossed in, but Busby definitely getting some action here. Brotherton kicks it away for Sabino. After this contest, it will be the boys 3A championship game. That will feature ALA Gilbert North, the Eagles, against the Phoenix Country Day Eagles. It will be a rematch of last year's championship game. Northwest Christian continues to stay on the attack. And Johannes puts her hands up. She's wanting to know, hey, is it ours or is it theirs? Great to see the various photographers around the field. This is a 3A, it is a state championship game, so regardless of the level, whether it's 6A or 3A, it seemingly is appropriately covered, as we'll see Gracie Swire exit. And entering Brooke Hausman. Hausman, a senior. And there's the kick in front of the net. And we do have a Crusader down, and that is tough stuff for the Crusaders. What's going to happen here? And that is going to be a goal the other way. Athena Huggins on the score. And it is 2-1. The Sabino SaberCats have the lead.
Goal, Sabino SaberCats. Crusaders 1, SaberCats 2, 17:09 remaining.
And we were caught up on I'm not going to say the injury to Northwest Christian, but they did have a young lady who was slow to get up, but that did not stop Sabino at all. As it shouldn't. You keep playing until there is some type of whistle or a stoppage of play. So I'll say this is a very high-scoring first half. And with the way these two teams are playing, it's probably not the last goal we're going to see. There's the toss in. And there's Ellie Johannes, and we did hear a whistle. I'll say Ellie Johannes is one of the most determined young ladies I've seen on the soccer field in a long time. Perhaps since I've been here, and that's 9 years now. She had the hat trick the other day in the 5-0 victory, the 4-0 victory over ALA Gilbert North. Big part of this team, big reason why they're here. Also big reason why they have an 11-game winning streak. Their lone loss this year came to a 6A team, the Basha Bears, 4-0 back on the 28th of December. Sabino steals it. And this is broken up by Medea. Johannes feeds out to Hausman. Hausman. The pass to Berkowitz is broken up. Hausman was going to toss it in, but those duties are going to go to Emma Busby. Busby tosses in, but easily controlled by Sabino, but it will roll out right at the corner. Angelina Moraga, the left-footed kicker. And her kick will stay in. SaberCats, they send that away. Well, waiting for a soccer ball to get tossed into play, and that's the one thing. It does seem like we've had to wait on balls being given back to the athletes, and that's tough. I mean, it's tough on the ball boys, that's for sure, retrieving them. So that was what the momentarily stop in action was. But Northwest Christian on the move once again. Far corner is Garberding. Crusaders will inbound. Here's the toss. Johannes tries to play it. She does. Her kick is still going to be in the zone, but that's fielded by Moraga. Both teams have made their presence felt to the opposing goalie, that's for sure. Both goalies have been slightly tested, and we have seen 3 goals so far in 28 minutes of play. And we'll have the throw in. Both teams still searching for possession. Heading the ball back and forth. Controlled by Berkwitt. Sabercats with it once again. And that'll stay in. Little confusion for the Crusaders. Johannes in that right corner, great footwork, continues to dribble. And that is stopped, and that is going to stay in temporarily. It does. Down the line it goes. That's great defense by Sabino. Crusaders going to have a switch. Belfloyd in, Berkwitt out. Busby the throw in. Busby and Wisely will try to reset, but Sabino continues to force the action. We'll get another reset. Johannes with some open spacing. Johannes continues to dribble. Two to one, the Sabercats with the advantage. We'll see Moraga send it in once again as it all starts here on the NFHS network. Tune in every week to watch the best high school action from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, the NFHS network. We are high school. And Sabino High School right now has the lead as they toss it in. This is the midst of February frenzy, folks, here in Arizona. You got the soccer championships, boys and girls, and of course, the basketball championships, boys and girls, going on, as well as the state wrestling championships. Great time of year if you are a fan of sports in general, but especially high school sports here in this state. Floyd sends it in. Moraga with another save. Line drive kick for Moraga. And Paulus will come up with the grab. High kick, little pinball off the heads of players on both teams. Sabercats try to keep it in, and they are very good at that. Sabercats almost had the breakaway. And we saw Beasley Floyd hit the deck. Good crew up here with me today. Of course, we have Greg and Kat Jones handling the cameras and producing everything. We've got the, not sure of the official title, but I'm going to say he is the AIA Tournament Director, and that is Mr. Shapiro. And we have Matt Schmidt, who has been the public address announcer over the last 4 games, into the 5th and soon to be a 6th after the conclusion of this one. We're all taking it in. We all have great vantage point, but again, it's all about what we're seeing on the field. 3A state championship action. Crusaders are trailing by 1 against a very tough Sabino team. Sabino in white, Northwest Christian in the dark. Sabercats trying for another breakaway. The ball just stays loose. Bell Floyd, the midfielder. We've probably seen more substitutions for Northwest Christian than we have Sabino in this half. We'll see if that actually plays a factor in half number 2. Because yes, fatigue can factor in at some point. It's just a matter of when it will. It may not affect Sabino or NWC at all, but it's something to think about as these two teams go up and down the field. Definitely say, though, great weather, so there isn't any draining elements in this title game. Ella Sable, once again, she'll send it down. Paulus will grab it. Wisely back down there, helping defend her. Short kick, but that'll end up pretty much in the possession of Sabino, however. Rust end. And that is kicked away, and it's not going to be touched by Paulus. Just to give you an idea of how spacious this facility is, as we see the shots of the goaltender, the ball went way back there, went back probably about 25, 30 yards behind, and one of the ball boys had to go retrieve the soccer ball. And indeed, there is a good-looking track wrapped around this brand new field. And we'll see who will start it. Looks like there might have been some confusion on the part of Northwest Christian. Sable from the corner. Corner kick's always tough. Very high arcing kick, but it's headed away. Little collision there. Both athletes look to be fine. They're both up. Crusaders at midfield. And they will not be able to catch up to it. Valiant try by Grace Swire. Big throw in by Sabino. Sabercats pushing, trying to advance. Kicked away by NWC. And that is going to end up past the goalie Maranga for the score. And who else but Ellie Johannes. Ellie Johannes, what can you say about her? Johannes with another goal, and we are tied at 2.
2 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
We told you we'd be talking about some superstars, and if you've heard me the last couple of games, I have raved a lot about Ellie Johannes. And when you can draw that goaltender out of the net by about 10 feet or so, that spells trouble. And good offensive teams convert during that situation. Bell Floyd tried to kick it away, but that's saved by Sabino, kept in. It's a battle. The Crusaders and the SaberCats getting after it. Again, we see that goaltender way out of the box. That is always tough. Clock continues to run, about 90 seconds remaining in half number one, and what a great half this has been. We're going to get the throw in by Rhiannon Hernandez. And that goes away. Nothing doing there. We'll get another throw in. Actually, we're going to have a kick. And that is going to be a little bit short. Kicked away by the Crusaders defense. Liz Tweedy on the kick. Sabino trying to see if one more goal can be scored in this half. And if it is, who will it be? And with the way the clock is going, it may not be anyone. Although, did I speak too soon? I did not. And that is going to end the half. 2-2 your score. Wow, it was a physical half. It definitely was. Probably the most physical of, definitely more physical than the semifinal games we've seen between the girls. Well played half. We didn't see mistakes. We saw the goaltenders come up with good saves, but we saw the superstars score goals. Ellie Johannes for the Northwest Christian Trojans, and we of course saw Athena Huggins and Ella Sable score for Sabino. 2-2 your score after one half here at Glendale High School. We'll come back after an extended break with half number two. You're watching the 3A State Championship game on the NFHS Network. SaberCats kicking around midfield, broken up by NWC. And there is the throw-in. Sable had it momentarily. And Sabino always very patient the way they drop their plays. But it's the Crusaders who will toss it in. And there's Ellie Johannes. How good is she? Johannes once again, and she is tripped up. Nothing called, and we will have Moraga kick it away. Headed by the Crusaders. Johannes determined to make something happen in that corner. And that is saved. Good save by Moraga. You can never underestimate the speed or the angle of a soccer ball. Toss once again, or the kick, I should say. Kick back in by NWC. Ellie Johannes is down there on the right. Kicked away. McKinsley Wisely with the kick. And that's going to end up out of bounds. We'll get the reset. Another reset as it rolls into that corner. Lauren Maston will throw it in. High kick, but that's headed by Sabino. And that is stolen by Johannes. Streaking down the left sideline, Johannes continues to attack the goal between a trio of defenders, and that is going to roll away. Wow. You talk about action. That's what you love to see, and I will continue for the rest of this broadcast rave about number 7 of Northwest Christian. She is that good. And from the corner will be Ava Campbell.
Hold that shot, okay? I'm gonna look at okay. Hold that shot or give
Campbell in the corner.
like 2 seconds.
She has the leg brace on her right leg. And there is the kick, and that is going to be headed, but it is off to the left.
Hold on.
We'll have another corner kick. Campbell once again. A little bit lower, and that is headed, and that is going to be in. Johannes, yes, Ellie Johannes once again able to get the goal and the ball past Moraga, and it is 3-2 Northwest Christian. Her second of the contest. I said about 5 minutes ago, I'm going to continue talking about this young lady, and I will probably continue to do so for the rest of the broadcast because right now her goal is the difference. And yes, she is a junior, so we'll hear from her again next year, but still plenty more to go in this contest. Johannes once again trying to take matters into her own hands. And it will be kicked away by Kylie Brotherton.
I'm good. Thank you.
And we'll get the whistle temporarily. Three to 2 Northwest Christian. Ellie Johannes with a pair of goals. We said she was good. We definitely said she's going to be a name that we are going to talk about, and for good reason, for true good reason. And Moraga with the kick. This is actually the first time that Northwest Christian has had the lead in this contest. Salazar is trying to kick it away for Sabino. And this will be Madsen for Northwest Christian. Sabino with the hard punch, I'm going to call it. And it goes right back and forth. Rolls away. Quick action for NWC. Wow, look at Johannes. Johannes, she is amazing, but this one is missed. I'll be the first to say I had not seen her play prior to the semifinal game from a couple of days ago, and seeing her with the hat trick and seeing her with a pair of goals in this one, saying that she's good, that's an understatement. I mean, look at what she's doing right here. Another shot, yes, that was high, but when you continue to pound the goaltender like that, a couple of them are going to get past her. And we've seen that already today. And it's been Sabino who's had problems in this half getting the ball out of their zone. Garberding in the corner. That's kicked away. Crusaders looking to set up once again. They stay on offense, and on one bounce, Moraga gobbles that up. Truly, the Crusaders have come out the better team in this half so far. Still plenty of time left, that's for sure. 30 minutes, better than 30 minutes. Here we go once again. Action in front of that net, never a good thing. That's Belle Floyd who tried to poke it in. Madsen. Campbell. Wow, look at Ava Campbell on the move. Her shot headed by none other than number 7, but it did not go in. Wow, Ellie Johannes, you are something special. You hear the crowd into it. Great game, great championship game, and that's what this is, folks. This is the state championship game. Johannes, here she is, and that is saved. Dribbles out of her hands, but kicked away by her defenseman. Not sure what was said at halftime, but someone woke up the Crusaders, that's for sure. And quite often, and obviously it goes for both teams, you have seniors who are essentially playing their last half of soccer ever. A couple may go on to the next level, but for the most part, when you're a senior in high school and you're in the championship game, a lot of times that's the last time you get to put on that uniform, and that's something that might have been echoed in the team huddles. And we'll say for halftime, since, yes, the teams don't go to the locker room, they go on either corner of the field. They definitely need the rest, that's for sure. I mean, soccer, while it certainly doesn't even look easy, but think about all the running and conditioning that they do up and down. It's a football field and then some. If you want to consider it the same length, which it isn't, you also have to consider the width, certainly wider than your average football field, or than not even your average football field, your normal football field. Sabino kicks in. Northwest Christian continuing to push. And I'll tell you, if you are a SaberCats defenseman right now, you have to be wary of number 7 in dark. Somehow she always gets past at least one, many times 2 defenders, and creates a scoring situation with the goaltender. Belle Floyd. Her kick ends up in the hands of Moraga. High kick headed by Northwest Christian. As we said, they're only about 20 minutes away from Glendale High School. Technically in Phoenix, however. Matson's toss in. And they keep that in. I believe that's Garberding on the move. Forcing Allie Weibley to kick it away. Matson tosses in again. Sabino hurries up, tosses it in. But look who's in the middle of everything. Ball tied up right now. This will be Mackenzie Wisely. So much strategy in a situation like this, not only for the kicker, but really the defenders. Another good save by Moraga. The defenders as well as the offensive teammates. Midfield action that Sabino controlled so much in their semifinal game against Ben Franklin. Tonight's championship game, a little bit different story. Sabino with the kick. Very high, but broken up. Crusaders continue to move. And while I'm certainly not down there on the field, something you've heard me consistently say is each time there is some type of contact, does not necessarily constitute a foul, but the referees are a lot closer to the physicality than I am, and they definitely can see it and sometimes even hear it. So it makes sense. But down here on the other end, Ellie Johannes. Johannes dribbling. Look at the move. Look at the speed. The kick is going to be good. How about that? Wow, Ellie Johannes is nothing short of awesome. 3 goals on Wednesday, 3 goals tonight, and the Crusaders have opened up a 4-2 lead over the Sabino Sabercats. 3 unanswered goals. You don't even have to be an over-the-top soccer fan to understand how great of a move that was. I mean, she beat 3 people, and that's just at first glance. She and this Crusaders team is that good. And they're 23 and a half minutes away from defending their state championship. But trust me, this Sabino team is strong. And there was a push by Salazar. Here's Johannes once again. She always ends up with the ball. And she is going to be bumped off the ball. And I'm going to say that was actually pretty good defense by Maritza Cardenas of Sabino, just nudging Johannes consistently away, almost like, say, an offensive lineman riding a defensive lineman away from the play. But here we go again. As you blink once, you may not even see what's happening in front of you. Generally, soccer is a game that admittedly is filled with some lulls, but you really can't turn your head in this particular one because one of the superstars, in particular, number 7 in dark, may be on a scoring break of some type. Under 22 minutes remaining, and we definitely want to say if you want to watch more of your school's great events like the game you're enjoying here today, then tell your school to sign up for the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to nfhsnetwork.com/SBP. Ava Campbell in the corner for the Crusaders. Corner kick is launched, and the Sabercats trying to do everything they can to get out of there. Moraga will end up with it. The big difference in this half, I'm going to say, is the fact that the Crusaders have put the pressure on Moraga and the Sabercat defense, and right here is a perfect example. Sabino has not really been able to clear it. The kicks have been stopped by NWC. Sabercats have consistently had to back up on defense. But now the Sabercats have a chance. Offensively, they too are very potent. Rhiannon Hernandez will toss in, and we'll get massive substitutions for both teams. We'll see Salazar head out for Sabino. Giving chase for Northwest Christian is Aliva Winetta. And that rolls away. Throw in for Sabino. Approaching 19 minutes left in, we'll say, regulation. And that's headed by Wisely. Wisely has been an excellent defenseman for Northwest Christian. And that's kicked away by Gracie Medea. Madsen, back and forth for both teams. Both teams racing to the ball. That's going to be Winnetka. Throws into Medea. Cassidy Garberding. Just under 18 minutes remaining in half number 2. And here we have Ellie Johannes. We haven't called her name in 2 minutes or so. Look at her back and forth dribbling, and her shot is going to sail across the goal mouth. And Sabino will have to attack, and they've got to realize that time is not necessarily on their side right now. They're trailed by a couple of goals. Matter of fact, I don't think they've trailed by 2 goals all year long. The lone blemish was a 1-1 tie against Tucson. So even if the Badgers scored first in that game, Sabino never trailed by 2 goals. Madsen tosses in. And that gets away from her, so it will be Sabino's chance. They're already in the proper end to score. Lauren Madsen tosses in. We've called her name several times. Garberding. Here come the SaberCats. First strong offensive push in this half. Rustand. Open spacing, and that's going to sail to the left. 15 minutes remaining in half number 2. And that will be Wisely. She is essentially their designated kicker. Strong line drive kick that will get back near the 40. And here comes Northwest Christian. On offense once again, Garberding hustling for it. And that rolls away. She loses her shoe. Garberding pushes it right back in. Tried to get it to Johannes. Madsen's kick. Still in the center of the field. Beasley Floyd with it. Gracie Swire in the corner. And the young lady for Sabino, she is having problems getting up, and now the whistle will stop, as so will the clock at 14:02. She does rise to her feet, but she was down for a bit. And that is how we saw Sabino score the first goal of the game. One of the Crusaders was down in the backfield, we'll say. She was okay, but action did not stop, and nor should have Sabino in that situation, and they ultimately scored. As we're now under 14 minutes remaining. Crusaders on the move once again. Johannes, big kick, and it was in and out of the hands of Moraga, but nothing doing for Northwest Christian. Sabino at some point is going to have to score a third goal. Yes, they've got to obviously score 4 to tie this game, but you've got to have another goal first. You've got to start to make things happen. You have to have Taylor Paulus, who we really haven't called her name. She's the goalie for Northwest Christian. You have to make her work. Medea. Madsen. Just a really good team from the defensemen to the midfielders to the forwards. All the way around, this Northwest Christian team has been playing great soccer. SaberCats still trying to get something done. Wisely will kick it away. That was Hernandez, Rhiannon Hernandez, who threw it in. And Johannes plays that left sideline very, very well. Madsen will toss it in at the next opportune time. .3A state championship game here in Arizona. Sabino High School in white, Northwest Christian in the dark. 4-2. Northwest Christian, the Crusaders have the advantage. They were trailing 2-1. It's 2-2 at the half, and they have scored both goals here in half number 2. Here's the throw in, but it is kicked away by NWC. Johannes moving swiftly. She's hard to take off the ball. And one of the Sabino girls went down, and Johannes took it right from her. The intensity on the field is there. It's tough. You can key in and sometimes see the intensity in these girls' eyes, their facial expressions. And before Wednesday's broadcast, I should say Tuesday's broadcast, we said over the next 6 games that we'll broadcast, there'll be some blood, sweat, and tears. And we have seen them all. We definitely have seen them all, and we'll probably see some tears at the conclusion of this game on both sides. If you win, it's tears of joy. If you lose, you're human. You want to win this game, but something we say, especially with the high schools, for the seniors, it is their last game. Last high school game at the very least. In many situations, it's their last game competitively, organized competitively. Not everybody goes up to the next level. SaberCats trying to push. Girls all tangled up. Tatum Berkowitz was in on it for Northwest Christian. Ella Sable, she scored a goal for the Sabino SaberCats earlier today. Let's see what she does here. Good kick is headed away by Wisely. As we said, big facilities here, so it'll take a second for the throw in. Winetta looks like she will toss it in for Northwest Christian. She does. It was intended for Belle Floyd, but coming away with it is Sabino. And it ends up in the hands of Paulus. Good kick by Paulus. Garberding chasing it. Will she get to it before it gets out of bounds? It will go out before she gets to it. SaberCats need a couple in a hurry. Got to get one first, though. And you got to have possession of the ball to do it, something they don't have right now. Moraga. She'll kick it away. But consistently it is headed by the Crusaders. SaberCats push. A little bit of contact, nothing doing there. Johannes battling. She wins that battle. Essentially wins a second battle. The kick in the middle of the field, but still controlled by the Crusaders. Giving chase there is Brooke Hausman. Ava Campbell will go from the corner. Campbell's kick is headed in by the Crusaders. Wow, and I believe that was Gracie Medea that time. And the Northwest Christian Crusaders are dominating. 5-2 lead. As we've said, these corner kicks are all important. We saw the Northwest Christian Crusader boys team on Tuesday. They blew a 3-0 lead, losing to ALA Gilbert North by a score of 4-3, but looks like the Northwest Christian Crusaders girls team, with about 5 minutes remaining, I don't think they're going to blow the 3-goal lead that they currently have. They've been dominant. This second half has been all theirs. Not sure what was said at half, but it's like a light switch was turned on. As we've said, they have been very deep from goalie to defense to midfielders to, of course, their forwards. And something we did mention in the first half, we saw a lot more substitutions in half number 1 for Northwest Christian, and we said, well, maybe that might bode well for them in the second half, because fatigue hits you at some point, and certainly the Crusaders have been the fresher team in half number 2. Not sure if that was necessarily the difference, but it could have been a factor. It's not over yet, but at the same time, Northwest Christian continues to put it on the Sabino SaberCats. Daytime slowly turning to nighttime here in Glendale, Arizona. Home of the Glendale Cardinals. Yes, the Glendale High School Cardinals, not the Arizona Cardinals. Great field here, brand new field. If you've watched this field, even just for today, let alone the previous 4 games we've done all week, you understand how gorgeous this field is. It is NFL caliber. It is. And these days, the fields are just made of something special, from sand to crushed tire to dirt. Everything has almost that perfect give. And not that you have to worry about it too much in the Phoenix area as far as water. Wow, it's another save. But the fields also have to be able to retain water. And that will roll away as we get to about 2.5 minutes remaining. Definitely wanted to say stick around for the trophy presentation. Will we see back-to-back champions? It's looking that way. Again, Northwest Christian won it all last year. And for Jeffrey Penzone, the head coach of Northwest Christian, this is his final game. His 18th year of coaching. He's won titles at the high school with the boys team, under 2 minutes remaining, and now he's going to retire seemingly as back-to-back champions with the girls team. And we are going to take a break, as indeed the trainers are coming out, and we do have an injury. We'll come back and sort it all out for you. This is the NFHS Network. Athena Huggins was helped off the field, but she was able to essentially walk off under her own power, so that is always a good sign when the athletes can do that. As we start the countdown, as we're under 2 minutes left, Sabino still looking to get on the board. But this has been all about Northwest Christian. Crusaders continuing to put that pressure on. Kicked away as we approach 90 seconds left in half number 2. The end of the line for many of these seniors. And if you are the Crusaders, you realize you're 70 seconds away from a second consecutive championship. And that rolls away, but we're under a minute remaining. And pretty soon we will start to hear cheers from the crowd, from the Northwest Christian rooting section. And let's see exactly how this game ends. Will it end up with another goal by Ellie Johannes? Probably not, but they're less than 15 seconds away from winning it all. Congratulations to the Northwest Christian Crusaders. They defeat the Sabino Sabercats by a score of 5-2. And there you just get a great picture of the back-to-back champions. Just an amazing performance, especially in the second half. It was all Crusaders. You figure Sabino scored 1-0, and then Northwest Christian tied it up 1-1. Sabino went up 2-1, but then late in half number 1, Ellie Johannes came up with a goal that tied it at 2. And something happened at halftime, and that's when that's when Northwest Christian took over. And indeed, they scored all the goals in half number 2. Ellie Johannes is just a gem. She dominated. 5-2 is your final. We're going to come back with the trophy presentation and wrap it all up for you. This is the 3A State Girls Soccer Championship on the NFHS Network. And welcome back to Glendale High School, as right now we get a look at the champions. Actually, right now we'll get a look at the team on the left, and indeed that is the Sabino Sabercats, grabbing the runner-up trophy. And what a season they had. 14 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. And they breezed through the postseason, but they ran into, realistically, what is the better team, as they lost in the first round in 2021, and they made it all the way to the championship game here in 2022. Great season, and for Sabino, you had Ella Sable, who was a senior. She scored in this one, her last game as a high school player. And Angelina Moraga, yes, she may have given up 5 goals, but you know what? Goalies, I think, really have a special place in most people's hearts. They take a lot of shots. A lot of people come after them, and when you run into a buzzsaw, it is very tough. But then you also have the buzzsaw, and that is the Northwest Christian Crusaders. They are truly the champions. Wow. What an amazing year for them. 5-2, and there is the flag, the plaque, the poster, whatever you want to call it, that signifies the championship. Nothing short of awesome. Jeffrey Penzone, his 18th and final season coaching soccer, and he goes out a winner on back-to-back years. Last year they blanked Scottsdale Christian, and tonight they defeat Sabino 3-goal difference each time. 3-0 last year, 5-2 this time. And just briefly, the Northwest Christian Crusaders, you can't say enough about number 7, Ellie Johannes. And there's a perfect picture right there. That is an amazing shot. You have the team flag. You have the 2022 state championship banner. It doesn't really get any better than that. And we hear the congratulations and the gold ball. That's what you play for. That is awesome. Ellie Johannes had the hat trick. She is clearly the best player in 3A. You would have a tough time convincing me otherwise. You really would, that's for sure. And then you look at the seniors, Belle Floyd, Ava Campbell, Beasley Floyd, Mackenzie Wisely, just terrific players all the way around. And this was a great effort, and talked so much about Ellie Johannes. She's a junior, so she'll be coming back. Tatum Berkwitt will be coming back, but a phenomenal team performance for the Northwest Christian Crusaders. And I'll definitely say there is no better team out there. They proved it not only in 2021, but in 2022 as well. And speaking of team, well, you guys have heard my voice for a lot over the last few days, but I'm part of a team. I definitely am. And it'll start with Matt Schmidt, who you may have heard in the background. He's the public address announcer for the semifinals and championship game. He's also the head coach of the Glendale High School Cardinals cross-country track team. He did an amazing job, but when it comes to amazing, that is Greg and Kat Jones. Terrific camera work, just all the way around. They are just phenomenal to work with. They know the business of sports, and they were on point. My name is Brett Quintine. It has been a pleasure delivering the 3A Girls State Soccer Championship to you. Once again, 5-2 is your final. The Northwest Christian Crusaders are champions. Brett Quintine saying goodnight from Glendale, Arizona.